Hi there, Cancer, and welcome to your March reading. Great to see everybody again, and I'm really looking forward to talking about all the energy and the opportunities that are coming through for your sign this month. I'd like to start off, however, just by offering a little bit of gratitude, saying thank you so much for your continued support. It does mean a lot every month that you guys show up, that you continue to like, subscribe, and share. Please keep doing that. I'm going to put a few links at the bottom, just ways that you can give back and continue to support the channel, and then we'll get into the forecast for this month. So first, I'd just like to remind you that I'm here for readings if you need me. So I'll put a link for information on that. As I said, it's really great that you guys have been showing up and supporting me. There's two ways you can do that. One is through a donation, and you can join me on Patreon or donate through my website, or you can just share this on your social media networks. So I'm going to put all of that below. I'll talk at greater length at the end about that. Let's first, though, get into the forecast. This month, we're going to begin, as always, with some channeled information. A reminder that the way that I arrive at that is by selecting a deck of cards and engaging in automatic writing. As I did that this month, there were a few thoughts that came together. I wrote them down so that I would remember them. Your main message that came through was there'll be this sort of, balance between reaching for things and then recovering things as well. So it's basically growth and repair, if you want to, as well this month. When it comes to reaching, this has to do with kind of like stretching for your goals. And that's sort of what I saw. It was like a little plant pushing through the ground, reaching up for the sunlight. That was what I saw in my meditation. And so I want you to push, and I actually underline that, push on your goals and your dreams this month. Really reach higher than maybe you have in the past. And then what you'll find probably towards the middle to end of the month is this feeling of recovery. Some of you might just be recovering momentum. I didn't even put that there, but I put it could come first by feeling better, recovering perspective, or opportunity. It didn't really come through as an economic or a sort of a wealth issue. I think for some of you, it's just this feeling of not having what you need, or not feeling like you're having the energy or the push to get what's necessary. So by reaching a little bit, believing in yourself, pushing like that little plant, pushing through the soil, and then, oh my God, all the sunlight is there, you can actually receive. That's kind of what you could meditate on, is that it's not as tough as it seems. And as soon as you've kind of made that breakthrough moment, then all of a sudden you're in this place of abundance and light and being able to take it all in, okay? So reaching for your goals and either recovering your health, recovering your perspective, an opportunity, or maybe even lost time. Let's go ahead now, give the cards a good shuffle, take a look at the Celtic cross and the expanded forecast to see what's coming through for you this month. At this point, I like to remain quiet and just observe the cards, their positioning, and the messages as well. After I've pulled these cards, I will also pull a catalyst card, and then we'll talk about everything that's in front of us. So give me one more second. I'm going to shuffle it one more time and be quiet then and look and see what's coming through. Okay. Okay, and as I said, I like to pull an additional card. Sometimes when I use a pyramid, this is at the top, basically because it helps connect everything. It's like a keystone. So let's see what your catalyst is. All right, divine feminine energy coming through. Let me pull the camera up and we'll talk about each card one by one. So the interesting thing with the divine feminine energy is that it shows up twice. First in a reverse state. You'll notice, by the way, that this woman card has a crown. And I definitely see her as a sort of equal card to the Empress here. So the card is reversed at the beginning of the month. It's upright at the end of the month. So this is about taking care of yourself before you can take care of others, having that maternal energy, that creative energy, that supportive energy. It needs to flow both ways. So it's almost as if we're holding a scale and it's saying, make sure that you're not giving too much in any direction here. We also have the lovers here at the center. Actually, we have a couple of cards that can be associated with the lovers, both the lovers and the sun. And the sun can also be associated with children. So I see family and loved ones as a theme. Very, very important this month to sort of balance out relationships. It feels like there's a lot of people showing up, a lot of interpersonal sort of energies that could be intertwining with you this month, and you're going to have to figure out how to balance it. Whenever you're a caretaker, whenever you're someone who people lean on, even if you're sort of doing something that I do in a support role, or if you're specifically like a doctor, a therapist, a nurse, an aide, an administrative assistant, there's so many examples that I can think of somebody that is an essential part of a bigger puzzle or a bigger group or a bigger initiative. When you're that go-to person, you need to spend the first part of this month, I believe, in just taking care of yourself. Make sure that you're getting enough rest. Make sure that you're feeling just back to normal, balanced. And this is something that I've seen across several signs, so it bears repetition here, that I feel like there is going to be some testing going on this month across all signs to balance, to put up proper boundaries, and it can be gentle boundaries, but you still need to speak up and take care of yourself, okay? So enough said on that. I will say the great thing that I see with both of these Divine Feminine cards is development, fertility both in if you're trying to conceive or create. Either way, it's saying don't give up. You may have to try a few times before that eventual creation, that conception, that coming to fruition happens. So once you take care of yourself, once you realize that it's not something that can happen like this, then whatever it is you're trying to do, I feel like you're going to have a breakthrough. Let's look at each card one by one, and periodically I'll go between looking at that Divine Feminine card and the channeled information, which was sort of two parts, reaching and recovering. So as we look at both your central card and the card crossing it, we have one that's really focusing on resources, money, opportunities, the Queen of Coins or Lady of Coins in this deck, and a card that I almost invariably would associate with work that needs to be done, the Five of Wands. And I like this Five of Wands because it's showing very hands-on, literally, energy that's needed. It's your blood, sweat, and tears that are going to make something happen. So with the Lady of Coins card, this is really important for you to focus on resources in general. You know, in the United States, we're getting close to tax season. This is really talking about making sure that you know how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, and if there's a better way to structure your budget, your business, your spending habits. It doesn't really matter at what stage of life you are, whether you're a student, whether you're married, whether you're retired, single, divorced, doesn't matter. It's just showing that some energy and some work needs to go into your management of wealth and resources. This card usually shows that also it's not always possible to see all of the progress right now. And that's what I also saw with the Divine Feminine card in reverse at the beginning of the month with the Woman card reversed. So know that you're going to have to spend time, energy, and be diligent with it before you start to see the fruits of your labor. When I'm not doing this, I'm a writer. And the interesting thing if you're ever working on something like a book or a painting or composing a musical piece, it doesn't always show its true form right off the bat. Sometimes you have to keep at it daily. You write an hour a day, and by the end of the year, you have something impressive. So I want you to know that whatever you're creating, it's going to take work. It looks like there's a lot of value in it, particularly if you're trying to create sort of like this nest egg or an investment or something that you're proud of. Just don't give up. That's part of the message there. There are so many emotional cards this month. Knight of Vessels Knight of Cups in the past, the Lovers in the crowning position, the Sun in the near future, the King of Cups in the ego. Wow, there's a lot going on with love and relationships. I see both family influences and, for some of you, partnerships. So let's start with the past. Whenever I see a Knight card in the past, a Knight or a Page, and especially if it's Cups, I was talking to another sign this month about being able to either use your emotional energy to make things happen, seeing yourself sort of like riding that wave, and I'm going to give you the same message because of the positioning. But for you, it's a little bit more developed. So with this, I think that you might have to take action this month. So if there's something that you want to do with your creative energy or with your emotional energies, for instance, if you're interested in going out on a date with someone, this is about taking the initiative. Even, doesn't matter if you're male, female, and if you date men or women, whatever it is, forget about the old stereotypes, forget about whatever you're used to or whatever you're expecting. This card is shaking things up a little bit and saying, get out of your comfort zone, take the first step. Also, if you're already in a relationship or if you're happily single, this is about also making sure that whatever it is that you're looking for in your personal relationships, this could be business, this could also be family. This is about just taking charge. So that's exactly what a knight would do, is take charge. So this month, you have the initiative, you have the voice, you have the control. Use that. Otherwise, you're kind of giving up a power opportunity and a chance to reshape or learn from what you've been doing. So relationships is kind of sitting in your court, and especially with all of the Queen or Empress cards that are coming through. All right, as I'm looking at recent past, this is probably going to still be overflowing into the first week. Some of you are getting antsy. We have the Ten of Wands card here. A lot of times this can indicate a readiness to move on, but maybe you're lacking some of the final touches on allowing you to do that. Could be in the form of money, which is why I'm seeing that budget note at the center. It could be a timing thing where you just don't have maybe available vacation time or the resources to make something happen so that you can move or that you can move on. So I want you to finish up, tidy up, figure out what it is that you need. And then if it is something that you're trying to accomplish, or if you're thinking like, I want to quit my job, I want to build a house, I want to start a business, I want you to project out and find the date on the calendar and then work backwards, just like a project manager would. And if you need help, reach out to someone that can help you with that. The good news with the Ten of Wands, this year I see really big shifting and changing happening for you. It's just a matter of picking the right time to do it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So do yourself the favor this month, as I look at the Five of Wands and the Queen of Coins, or the Queen of Pentacles, look at timing, resources, money, also how you feel, and you'll be able to pick that time both practically and intuitively. Crowning energy, what's touching everything this month in addition to that catalyst? It's the Lovers. So the Lovers isn't just about relationships, it's also about your power and your influence on others. The Lovers card can come up for business people, happily single people, students, or retired people when it's a month where they can affect change, they can engage people, it's a magnetic energy. When you just have fun being in the presence of others. So it's not necessarily about meeting your lover or having to date. It's just about understanding that there's very pleasant partnership energy and opportunities with large groups of people this month. So capitalize on that if you will, or have fun with that if you will, okay? What I'm seeing here towards the middle of the month, and also this can be either a block or an opportunity when I'm looking at near future, we have the Sun in reverse. Now, this could actually be a person coming into your life. For me, I would say 9 times out of 10, this can be a male in your life or someone that comes through with a very sort of aggressive or traditionally masculine energy. And my warning with this person, they may seem like someone that would be a perfect partner, but I see them being very involved in their own life right now. The Sun reverse can be a little immature or a little selfish, and I want you to take pause and let them work through their life situation first, because I was seeing that your own energy needs to be more introspective. So if we take 2 people that are focusing on themselves and then trying to come together and maybe fix something that isn't, sort of existing within themselves, that to me can spell out potential for codependency, or at the very least, not being able to support one another. So if there's someone in your life and they're going through a hard time, give them as much support as you can, but not so much that it taps you out, and vice versa. If you're needing a little more time and realizing that you're interested in someone, maybe do the work on feeling better and working through that first before you engage in going further in a love relationship, okay? Now, as we look at your ego this month, we have the King of Cups or King of Vessels here, and this is a good card and a good position for it. It's showing that whatever sort of imbalance or whatever sort of things that come through in respect to relationships or emotions, it feels like you can navigate them, that you can be in control of your emotions and probably be a big support to others in your life. Now, we have to take a look at deep past and notice that there is this sort of fraternal connection that's happening here between the King and the Knight. I think that for some of you, you could be meeting a past life family member, and they're reemerging this life in a much different context. They could be coming through as a best friend. Oddly enough, they could be coming through as someone that you're engaged in a relationship. However they're projecting themselves in this life, there's some karma to work through from the last life. And I definitely get more of a sibling feel for this. So brother or sister kind of energy. And if it's a best friend, you may have already felt that from the minute that you met them. But for some of you, the love is so deep that you're kind of wondering, it's confusing. It's like, I feel like they're family. I feel like they're a best friend. I feel like they're a soulmate. Maybe they're all of this. And the truth is, the more we reincarnate and the older our soul gets, the more complicated it is, because you've probably worn multiple hats. All of those hats have been worn at some point. All that matters is, how does it feel in this lifetime? A lot of times when I'm talking to a client and we're trying to sort of sort out this life versus the last life, I try to remind them that the most important thing is that we understand the context of right now. It might be useful to know what's left over, but you can feel it out on an intuitive level. So try to see, this lifetime, why did you call them in? And if I were to pull a card and try to help you, I'm going to look right at the environment, because I feel like this is what it's about. We have the Eight of Pentacles. It doesn't strike me necessarily that it has to be a romantic relationship. And that's why when I saw this, I'm like, this is more about best friends, brother, sister sort of thing. And so this could be a fantastic person to ultimately give you advice, be a sort of like a co-founder in a company, to help you study or evolve as a person. So maybe you guys decide to take a class together or something. I see this as a developmental relationship, where the two of you can be there for each other so that you can be stronger. For some of you, it may express itself as love because we have the Lovers, but just understand that there's a complexity that I'm seeing within this relationship, that it feels like some of you already went through a lot, and there may have been sort of like a blood connection in a past lifetime, blood or marriage. And so you're either revisiting the whole idea of being married, or you're trying on different hats and deciding, instead of being family, we're going to be partners. And how does this work? But you're carrying some of the karma from before. So spend some time working through it, because I feel like for some of you, it might be better to just be friends and just support each other. And that's the true purpose this life, was just to support each other. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, which I think fits with the Empress in reverse. This is about healing yourself back to recovery. Some of you may have just been feeling tapped out with so much energy. The Woman card, the Empress card, the Sun card, also the Lover showing, to me, almost even like a 10 of Cups, a community element. I feel that you've done a lot of nurturing over the past year or so. And this month, spend it on yourself, spend it on your own endeavors. Look at this new person, new friendship, new relationship that may emerge this month, and think, how much do I want to put into this? Maybe it's something different than I thought it was originally, and just let it sort of evolve on its own without trying to cast it into a certain place right now. I think taking your time is important. And as we look at the Sun card, this typically shows, to me, it can be like 6 months, or it can be the summer. Give yourself some time. I feel like you need to not rush into anything right now, okay? Easy does it. And environmentally, the energy is more in going after some sort of an endeavor of expansion. So learning, training, and you might meet this person while doing that. And that's the interesting thing, because I saw you guys sort of helping each other learn. So literally, if you decide to go and take a class or somehow expand your knowledge, that might be where you meet a new friend or a new love interest. Overall, the energy this month is really good, especially when we look back at that channeled information. Reaching new heights, recovering energy, recovering momentum. I like what I'm seeing so far. Let's go ahead now and expand the forecast. We'll take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning with your health card. For me, health represents not just your mental or physical health, but also where you're at on a spiritual plane, because I believe that really is what governs everything. So let's see what the message is for health. We have a reversal on this one, and it says, view from above, get the big picture. So some of you may be too much, kind of like, to use an old phrase when I was when I was a waiter, might be in the weeds, which is just saying you can't see what's going on because you're so far in the details. And that definitely is sort of embraced by this card or supported by the Eight of Pentacles. Great card for detail-oriented work, but when it comes to your health, you might be avoiding things. You might be missing something obvious because you're just so busy trying to focus on everything else or everybody else that you've forgotten something. It could just be forgetting about taking care of yourself. So I really want you to take a step back, look at things in your life and think, how does this feel for me? Does this make me happy? Is this stressing me out? Does it feel toxic? Weigh everything out and find the balance that I was talking about earlier between helping others and helping yourself. That's going to be important, and I think it's the stress management that's going to be important to your overall health. Let's now look at wealth, knowing that wealth isn't just money or jobs or physical coins. It's actually how you attract opportunities, how you react to an opportunity when it comes your way, and it's about abundance in your life, really. So your wealth message this month is that you actually are receiving messages here. It says, for some of you that are really, really open, this could be someone that has passed, maybe a grandmother, grandfather, mother, father, etc. And knowing that there is support from that energy that's already passed. The other thing is I'm getting family, even though I'm looking at this and it says you have loved ones in heaven, etc. I actually feel like you have a blessing in the relationships that are around you. This has more to do with the fraternal energy that I was picking up on. So you have someone that feels like family. This could be chosen family for some of you. If you were adopted, if you are estranged from your family, and even just as you get older, it's less important about the biological family. It's more important about who you really feel like your quote unquote tribe is, who you've chosen to love as maybe a mother figure or a father figure or a brother or a sister. Particularly the brother-sister energy is what's coming through. So with the wealth, there's somebody in your life that can support you on what you're trying to do. And going back to that environment card, they may be able to lend emotional support, actual money. Someone, if you're trying to go through college and they want to support that endeavor, or see that you just need help on an investment and they believe in you, just know that you have that energy right there in the environment. Also, because we have this very ether-based or heaven-based card, know that how you feel about your self-worth and the opportunities around you, it's echoing back and attracting things. So if you think to yourself, I can't get what I want, it won't happen. But if you feel like, no, I'm in the flow of abundance and I'm ready to make it happen, guess what? Your center card, Queen of Pentacles, your environment card, one of creation. And whenever I see Eight of Pentacles, it's immediately showing that what you put out there is going to come back. So I want you to believe in yourself. And then I want you to connect with your chosen family and or for some of you, maybe your actual family, and know that this is going to support your long-term goals. All right, let's look at love. I feel like we've been looking at love the whole time, but let's see if there's some additional messages with respect to love. Patience. I accept that everything happens in the divine order. So really try to take your time. The interesting thing as I look at this is we get a second mention of the sun here. Know that for those of you in North America, summer's it's a little bit off here. As I said, it might be 6 months from now before you start to see what's coming through in your goals for relationships or personal development. And I really think that's what it's about, because when I'm looking at the sun, the actual sun card this month, it's saying focus on yourself and also be careful about people that aren't ready to support you. Take some time, be with yourself. And it feels like there's a lot of development that wants to happen and a lot of growth in your resource area with the Queen of Coins and the Six of Coins. Okay, some of you could be meeting that Earth sign that's coming through here at the center. And if that's the case, again, just give it time, because right on top of that was the Five of Wands, which means easy does it, right? And then I see fraternal energy for some of you too. So both friendships and love want to come through. Don't rush them. Let them evolve, as I said earlier, and become whatever they need to be. Now let's look at your destiny card. This is like a GPS, and it doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm seeing here is kind of carved in stone. It means that this is where your potential is. You get to choose to embrace this destiny, or if you want to change a little bit, this is your chance to do a course correction. So we have a reverse card here. Let me read what it says. It says material wealth, true prosperity, and it's the Diamond Dreamer. The card is reversed. So a couple things that I see with this. First of all, Diamond, clarity. I really want you to be clear in your vision for whatever it is you're trying to manifest. If you don't know what you want, the universe can't really support you. It starts to kind of like scatter things. So there's a lot of opportunities. The clearer you know and the more you can focus that light, the better. The other thing here is the focus this month is really on wealth and prosperity. And it's not necessarily just money, it's personal growth. So how you define rich, for some of you it could be material gain, but a lot of what we talk about on this channel here is about personal growth and personal development, and that's what this card was showing, and I think that's where your riches can be gained this month. So don't be afraid to read, go back to school, take up a hobby, just hang out with people that are really interested in development, personal development, spiritual development, etc. And that's going to bring good things to you this month. Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about. There's a lot. As I said at the beginning, your primary message that was channeled was you have a chance to both reach new heights, goals, dreams. We just talked about that here. And also pushing to make them happen a little bit. And then also there's a chance to recover some momentum, health, perspective, opportunities. So give yourself a chance to do that. And as we looked at the catalyst, it's an absolute support of that. In fact, there's this interesting sort of balance between helping yourself and helping others. And it doesn't mean that you have to do one at the expense of the other. It just means that you need to achieve some sort of equilibrium as you go through the month. Central card, really underlining what we've been talking about, development, but also that I see good resources coming through this month. There was nothing showing poverty this month. So if it enters into the picture that you feel like there's a lack of, I want you to get back into the flow of feeling that you can create something new. And then that's what this card says is, if you work hard, Five of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, good things will come to you. A lot of energy coming through on a fraternal basis or a sisterly or brotherly energy. So just embrace that, because it actually came through in the support area. So whether it's chosen family, actual family, or someone that you meet while you're doing this, I feel like you're going to have an unexpected support that comes through. Be careful on the love interest that you might meet this month. With the Sun card and also this Patience card in the love area, you're going to need to take your time and make sure that both you and your partner are ready for what comes through. It seems like it's actual love that is coming from a good place, but for many of you, you just need to work on yourself. And for those of you that are either single and looking or just single and happy, continue the self-work and you might be surprised by someone that comes through. So wherever you're at in your relationships, there's no hurry. That's what we see. I see a move or a shift happening for many of you, but not just yet. It might be during the summer. It might be a year from now, because the sun can also indicate a full circle around the sun. Take your time and remember, feel it out with your heart. Feel it also out with the numbers and know when it makes sense from a logical point of view. You have the opportunity this month to really be in control of your emotions, so use that to your advantage. Do things that are fueling your inspiration, because that's really what the recovery piece is. You should also feel good on a heart level, and if it's not there, take care of that. With the Empress card in the outcome, I didn't talk too much about this initially. For those of you that are trying to conceive, this can show that conception. The Sun card was reversed, so it takes some time. This might be something that even takes a couple of months, because I've got the Eight of Pentacles here. So easy does it, don't rush it. Take care of yourself, take care of your body. Know that that's the most important thing. Also, when you're trying to create something and birth something on a figurative sort of level, same thing. Don't rush it. It's you have a certain amount of time that you have to wait before something is ready to be revealed. get some perspective on your health, see what makes sense in your life, what's pulling you in a way that feels good, and if it isn't, it's time to let go of that. When we're looking at wealth, we talked a great deal about both feeling like you're in the flow of prosperity and then also leaning on people around you, knowing that you have help both in the physical and metaphysical realms, taking your time with love and really everything, clarifying your vision, and knowing that prosperity is not just money, but it's also development. And that's the name of the game this month. I mean, I feel like you have people here and love opportunities here, but they're not. That's not the only focus, and a lot of them are coming through to support you. And once you've done that work, then the other love comes through, where you can enjoy and just sort of embrace the overall energy here. Know that this can just mean you are loved. You are loved by a lot of people, and you may need to hear that message, and that alone might be all that's coming through for you this month. So anyway, there was a lot to cover. I hope you got what you needed. If you ever need something that's more specific, because realize this is a general reading, as I said at the beginning, you can check out my website, look at rates and availability, and see if that makes sense. If not, or if you just like to support me in a different way, one way you can do that is to join me on Patreon or to do a one-time donation on my website. Know that that makes a really big difference in allowing me to have materials and also the time to do these videos. I'd also love to have you join me across social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my newsletter, and as I said earlier, it's a big honor when you decide to share this with others. So if you feel drawn to do so, thank you so much. Here's all of the information so that you can be a part of that community, and I appreciate that. Finally, most importantly, I come here every month so that I can help shift consciousness and awareness towards the light, towards the possibilities. By taking part in this, one, it's a great honor for me, but more importantly, I just want to say thanks, because I feel like we're lighting up the planet. We're in a time right now where there's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and I'm trying to sort of cast the net so that it can light up like a constellation, or you guys can reach up above the darkness and shine like beautiful lighthouses, knowing that it's your energy, it's your light, it's your vision that's going to bring other people into that same light. Keep doing that. Keep making this a better place. Thank you so much for your time, your presence, and your energy here. I'll see you again next month. Bye.